Now let's do some experimentation with traffic figures. Let's be optimistic and say that our application is doing great, and now we're serving 250,000 hits a month instead of 25K. It only costs about $1 more per month to serve 10 times the traffic. With an optimized Rails application, I could see this infrastructure being able to support most types of apps at that traffic load without breaking a sweat. Obviously, it really depends on your app, but for argument's sake, let's say that your application is read-heavy and you've done some very minor optimizations to cache your most expensive queries. Even if you jump up to 2.5 million hits, the difference is only about $12.50 from our original 25,000 hits per month. 2.5 million hits isn't even that much if you break it down by time. Let's be super safe and say that the Rails app can only serve 50 requests per second at a reasonable latency. Well, if you have 2 instances running, that's going to be 100 requests per second served. Multiply that by 60 for 1 minute, and we just served 6,000 requests in that time frame. Then we can multiply it again by 60 for 1 hour. Now we're at 360,000 requests per hour. And again, let's multiply it by 24 for 1 day. We're just shy of 10 million requests a day here, but there's 30 days in a month, so let's factor that in too. So in theory, if your Rails app had exactly 100 requests a second for an entire month, you would be able to serve over 250 million requests. So let me go ahead and update the Excel sheet for 259,200,000 requests. And now you'll see that the price went up to about $1,400 a month. That's not too shabby given the amount of traffic that really is. Also, I think we can all agree here that 3 micro instances will pretty much explode under that load, but what about 100? That's debatable, but with 100 micro instances, the cost only jumps to $2,300 total. I'm sure if you profiled your application properly, you would be able to find a more cost-effective solution by using fewer high-resource instance types too. The point I'm trying to make is that Amazon might seem a little expensive at the start, but the services that we're using are very flexible. We can add more instances to the cluster by running one command to start the instance, and then another command to update the ECS service so that it runs one more copy than it did before. In about 2 minutes, everything will be ready to rock. There's no headache and no wondering if things are going to work or not. They will work. It gets even more interesting too when you really think about the costs. Let's revert things back to 3 instances and 25,000 hits per month, which were the defaults. I'll see you in the next lecture where we compare costs against DigitalOcean.